Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Nick Wagner here, Stewart Stewart Attorneys. Of course, I'm with the Darron Stewart, as usual.
The Darron Stewart.
Yeah, well, that's what they say. We talk about a lot of questions we get from clients. It's a daily thing for us. You had a client recently, Darron, who had a good question for you on insurance.
Yeah, the client called in and wanted to know what do they do if they're hit by someone who doesn't have insurance, and what is involved in that. And so that was an interesting question, because it does happen, even though it's required in the state of Indiana to carry insurance coverage on your vehicle, a minimum of $25,000. Some people don't, and they might hit you. So there's a couple different things there. First of all, as you and I both know, the driver who hit our client that didn't have insurance is going to have to deal with that in some manner, because they're likely going to lose their driver's license, get it suspended, and they deal with those things. But as far as our client's concerned, there's a couple different avenues to pursue. First of all, the person may be independently wealthy, and you can pursue them, and you're not very concerned about insurance. That's likely not the case, because people who have something to protect will have insurance. So usually that person doesn't have a lot of assets, if any. Right. So then you look at the client's insurance, whether they have uninsured motorist coverage, which I recommend to all my clients. You should have uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage on your policy. And it's like a policy that you paid the premiums for that idiot who hit you. You know, you've paid the policy premiums to have a policy in place for that uninsured driver that runs into you.
So some people get kind of weary about that, and they say, well, I don't want to get my own insurance company involved. And isn't what we say is, we say, well, listen, this isn't a matter of you being at fault for something. It's the opposite. And you have this coverage here to protect you in situations just like this, where you're hit by somebody without insurance. And that way we tap into it, and that's why you pay your premiums.
That's right. You're paying your premiums for that coverage. You should use it.
Right.
And that's the scenario when you should use that uninsured coverage. People worry about losing their insurance, or getting where the insurance company doesn't renew or something along those lines. And I always tell them, there's probably a dozen insurance companies out there that would love to have your business. So I wouldn't worry about that.
And probably save you some money.
Probably.
Probably.
I don't know that they would count that as a claim against you, because it wasn't your fault. But I can't speak for the insurance companies, how they handle that. But the bottom line is, you pay the premiums for it. You should access it. That's crazy not to, and get yourself recovered. But you can be fully recovered that way. Yeah. So we go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so take a look at your policy. From what I'm hearing from you, make sure you've got that coverage on there. If you don't, get it on there. Yeah,
two things that we always tell our clients you got to have on there, and that's the uninsured, underinsured coverage, and medical payments, or med pay. And we have another video on med pay and the benefits of that. Those are the two things that sometimes people don't get. They can have full coverage on their car, and coverage for someone else if they hit somebody else, and those things are separate. So sometimes they don't get those. So always do.
So the answer then is yes, you can pursue a case where you've been hit by somebody who doesn't have insurance, and then you need to look at your policy. And the last thing I'll say on that too is, revisit your policy every 7 or 8 months, just to be sure that you've got the right coverages, the right discounts, and things like that, because the premiums will sneak up on you and you won't even know it. A lot of them come out automatically. But make sure you've got the uninsured, underinsured coverage on there. If you have any other questions about insurance coverage, auto policies, there's a lot of sort of things that people don't know anything about in terms of what's in their policy. Give us a call at Stewart Stewart. We'll walk you through it and make sure you're protected.